What's up, guys? It's Joel Harshon Paintball. Today we are here to do a gun comparison video between the DLX Luxe Idol and
the Shocker era, guys. This is gonna
well,
be.
you know what? One Doug's picking.
I don't know. We'll see.
Wow, this is getting really weird really quick. So, stick with us because although Doug might seem a little perverted, he's not that bad. And like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys after the intro.
I think Joel has just. I think he took a week and watched all the harassment that I've given him over the last 5 years on this channel, and he's just like decided to get me back today. So yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm just peppy. I got caffeine running through my veins. All right, guys. So here we are. We've got the DLX Luxe Idol, Luxe's high-end option, and the ever-trusty Smart Parts Shocker
era.
Shocker era.
Shocker Paintball, Shocker
I'm showing my age right there.
Yeah, really.
Smart Parts.
SP.
All right,
Very
so
clever
we've got
with
the
SP.
mid-end option, Doug's favorite, and we've got the Luxe Idol. I really like the Luxe Idol, and we are here to do our comprehensive gun review.
I only shoot mid-range markers because I am mid. So with that, let's start with the packaging.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, Doug, go ahead.
Scooch this. No. Shocker is not going to win this one. It has what you need. I do like the packaging. It is compact, which is sick. The new Luxe packaging is really heavy. Like, there's just a lot of stuff in it. Like, I just got one in the other day for one of my guys, yeah. Like, just when I was, like, picking the whole thing, I was like...
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there is. And
but it's nice
like,
because it's a 3-in-1.
It is. No, it's you get 2 gun cases, really. Like...
So this is like a waterproof option that should be very easy to clean, and there's really nothing inside of here. I kind of wish they had microfiber lined this.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see this potentially wearing the marker if you keep it in there a lot.
Yep.
But it's nice. It's nice. It's not my favorite case. It's, in my opinion, a little bit too complex. I wish this had a carry handle to it. It does not. On this side, this pull-out drawer, as you want to say, is going to offer you a large bore and a small bore for your Freak XL inserts.
And it just says large and
options.
small, which is hilarious. Is that supposed to be like the 8.9 and the 8.5
It's
or
a
something?
8.2 and an 8.8.
Okay.
I want to say.
Okay.
And then all these other options. These are nice. I do like other cases where you just push the insert in.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, like, you know, pull this in and pop it into place. But it offers you way more options, which is cool.
You can that I think holds the most barrel inserts out of everything on the market.
Yep.
If maybe it might match Planet Eclipse, but I'm pretty sure it'll be some of the most. So you get your lube, your like other your charging cable, parts kit. What is this up here? Is this for
What's that?
Is it the barrel sock? No.
You know, I don't know.
I don't actually know what that is.
That is a barrel sock.
But then turns into a pocket for other stuff if you want it to be that as well. So really comprehensive. Everything is strapped in really well. If you want to put it up for the people to see again.
Yeah.
Everything's strapped in super well. Very comprehensive case. Holds a ton of barrel inserts. Quick startup guide, just like with the Shocker as well. But
Plenty of grease. Nice Allen key set.
oh yeah.
And a nice charger and a parts kit that's still not labeled. Sad face.
So other than a non-labeled parts kit and missing a carry handle, I'm going to say this is a pretty nice case. I actually like this casing quite a bit. On the Shocker side of things, you will get barrel sock, quick start menu. I have wrenches right here, lube and parts kit over here. Actually, I'm only seeing, parts kit here, lube and wrenches right here. Now I feel it under my pinky. Only 2 slots for barrels, so you really only get your barrel tip and your barrel back, and you can fit your insert within the barrel back while it's in here. But that's all really the more room you get.
They have not changed this case
Since the XL or the RSX even.
Yeah.
They've made it a little bigger to fit this, but
Yeah.
so, and then you look on the other side, space enough for your marker, and there's space down here for like another trigger if you have one, if you have a backup trigger or something. But this is about as basic as it gets, guys. The only point that I will say
I like this case.
I do too, but if I'm being technical, the only point it really has over the Luxe case is the carry handle, which is sick, don't get me wrong, and this is very compact, which I like, but I don't like that I have to have a separate...
Well, and to be fair, you can put a carry handle.
You can
on
attach
this.
one if you want, but like, why must I do that for $1,600? Why can't you just give me one? You know.
Good point.
But I'm gonna give the point to the Luxe for this one.
Yeah, I kind of have to, just because there's more to it and complexity.
Yep.
I think from a functionality perspective, you're going to think I'm insane, but
no, this is way easier.
From a functionality perspective, I actually like the shocker case better.
That is very clunky. When I was reviewing the marker that I got the other day for one of my guys, I was very frustrated trying to get the thing open and get everything out of it. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. So anyways, barrel. We're going to talk about barrel. 14-inch, Freak XL barrel.
15-inch.
15-inch.
Yep. Both use the same inserts. Both have the same idea now, where the barrel the barrel insert color is essentially taken out of the equation. I'm
picking this barrel.
Why?
Because I hate the 15-inch barrel.
I actually fuck with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
I didn't notice. It took a month or so of me having the old white shocker that I had from here before we sold it. I was just kind of running it to put it out there. I didn't notice. I just knew that I really liked the way the marker pointed when I was using it, and it just kind of felt right, felt balanced.
It feels unproportional.
I don't even notice.
The guns are like a really small gun, and I feel like I've got this spear at the end of my gun.
I straight up don't notice, so we're going to disagree. I actually like this barrel, but I also like the shape of it better. This is like Chode Boy, like real wide. This is like, it's your boy, Skinny Penis. So I actually prefer this one. I like it more. So we're going to disagree. Go 1 for 1 on that one. Feed neck.
The Q-Lock system of the Luxe, in my opinion, is much better.
Can I get a look at it?
It's lower profile. I like the orientation of it better, as far as it's on the left side. The shocker, the lever's on the right side, and the shocker feed neck is bigger. It's taller compared to the Luxe. So I think that the Luxe feed neck is one of my favorite. Has been for a long time.
It is lower profile.
They haven't really
totally give you that.
Yeah, and they've really never changed the design of this, because it's just a really sleek design.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Take that out of Planet Eclipse's playbook. All their guns are like fucking amalgamations of the same shit. So I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna actually agree that I think that feed neck is better. I do like that it's lower. I think it's a little wider, which you can make an argument for that, but the lever on it is a bit longer and gives you a little bit more leverage to actually tighten your stuff in. Mm-hmm. And like both, to me, have a nice thumb wheel, and there is an option to use an Allen key if you really want to fine tune it. So not quite a wash. I will agree. I actually think the feed neck on the Luxe is better.
Okay, sounds good. The eye system between the two?
I don't have much experience with the Luxe eyes. I don't mind the shocker eyes. I did once rip a cable years ago on my XLS. I haven't had to mess with my Era eyes too much. I haven't really broken a lot of paint in it.
For me, it's a trade-off, because
it's also toolless on the.
Well, they're both toolless. They're both toolless. Like the frame. Oh, I'm sorry.
The eyes.
I'm thinking wireless.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the sense that when you take the frame off the body,
that's very simple, which is super nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, this definitely has some advantages. One, the toolless eye covers.
Yep.
Two, the fact that there's no connection in between, which I guess you could make the argument for that. I tend to find that there was some alignment issues with the shocker amps when it came to
the
vision board connecting with the motherboard.
Yep.
I don't think that's been as big of an issue with the Era. That was one of the points where they improved on the Era.
Yep.
Whereas that's not a non-issue.
It's never
because
been
it's like a 6-pin design on this, and it's at a much better location on the trigger frame. So there's really never an eye fault issue, but they're still using the ribbon system.
Okay.
Compared to that, which is a cable system. So that's the only disadvantage, but I still give the eyes to the Luxe.
I'm going to disagree. For the fact that there has been an improvement in the shocker manufacturing, this is the new version of the shocker. We have to go on what is the Era. There has not been as many issues out the box with it. I haven't really seen or witnessed as many issues with it. It's toolless, that's toolless versus not, so I guess, if I like these better because I like that I'm not going to rip something, but I have to. No, I don't have to, actually. I don't care that this is not toolless. I don't like ripping wires. So I'm going to stick the point to the shocker for that one.
Wow.
That's
okay.
That's fine if this is toolless, but
that's fair.
I don't know.
Okay. Next up, we've got battery changing. I mean, big difference here.
I don't like charging my gun, so.
Ooh.
I don't like having to charge a gun.
I'm 100% giving it to the Luxe on this.
How good is their battery life for practices? How many weeks could you go?
So here's the deal. With the TM40, it was great. With the Idol, it's not as good, but there is a low battery option on the board that you can use, which helps you save battery on it. So you're going to get probably 2 or 3 plays out of it before you have to charge it.
Like 2 or 3 days.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It is USB-C, which is nice.
Yeah, most of your phones nowadays use that anyway.
Correct.
You could charge it on the way to practice if you had to.
Correct. So for that reason, I'm picking that because, dude, let's face it, this is ancient. This
9 volts and 3
a
screws.
9 volt and 3 screws is like circa before 2015.
9 volt is cool because what, the 180 still uses a 9 volt, right? But they could have at least made this like toolless. I just don't like charging my gun.
Okay.
My question is, how fast does that charge? Or does it depend on the block?
You know, I honestly haven't charged them enough to know. I've only charged them like 2 or 3 times. It's pretty fast. I mean, an hour or 2 maybe.
So, like for you driving here from Mansfield to Level, you could charge your gun from 10% to playable.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Well, I
agree
don't
to
like
disagree.
rechargeable guns. We're
Agree
gonna
to
go 1 for 1,
disagree.
guys. Trigger. That's a tough one because these are both pretty great.
I like the trigger on both these.
They made them similar. Like, let's be real about that. Like, they're not all that different. In
this very like stylish design on the Luxe trigger. From the factory, it's complete butt, and you gotta fix it.
Did you mess with this one?
I did not. No, that's how it comes. It's
a little sticky.
Way too much travel. Way too much magnetic. This uses a magnetic return, where I feel like that uses a spring return. I just like the way that returns. Like when I'm rolling the trigger, I like that better. The feel on this, I don't know, man. I'm probably actually gonna pick the shocker.
I would too.
The trigger.
I would too. That idol that we used in my first impression video felt really nice.
It's because I tuned it up.
You doctored that one, right? So,
and to be fair, that's close to where I would have it.
Joel did the trigger on my current era, and this feels pretty close to it. So
yeah.
I guess on the average though, I would probably go with the shocker triggers over.
Yeah, for me, I don't like how wide the idol trigger is.
Okay.
And that's kind of my main thing when it comes to that.
Joel likes rounded trigger edges and a skinnier trigger so you can roll off of it more.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're both 2 for on the shocker. Yeah.
Okay. Board/programming.
That's got to go to the Luxe.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. It's funny because
huge OLED board on this side here, guys.
It cycles the same way as this though, where you got to hold it in and use the trigger and all that to go through it. But like,
talks to you.
It literally sweet talks you.
Yeah. It talks to you, and it's very simple to go through, cycle through the options when it comes to the board and programming on that. So it's hard to argue that compared to the, very analog version of cycling through.
It's just ancient, right? It's not different than it was in the RSX.
I mean, at least it's an OLED board.
Yeah.
Right? At least you can see what you're doing.
But, I mean, the RSX came out when? I'll say it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'll say it, but
I agree with you. I think they should have improved on it at some point. I think if they're going to improve on anything, I think the board itself is not the main issue.
No.
I think it's very intuitive from a functionality perspective. It's not difficult to cycle through the board. But if they're going to spend their money anywhere, it should have been toolless design.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%.
To compete with the DSR Plus and that.
100%.
I think that the board overall is not a bad design.
100%.
ASA between the two.
Luxe.
The Luxe is going to offer a new stylish stainless steel design that goes a full 180.
And it does go flat, so you can set your marker down even with your air off.
Correct. And that was always a quirk that neither you or I liked on the ASA. They also shaved it down so it's a little bit less metal.
It's pretty sleek, honestly.
It's very sleek. Doug, what do you got?
We have on the shocker a nice little turn knob, super old school. Again, something that hasn't really been updated. They've fine-tuned it, but that's just, I think, is going to pale in comparison to that. I don't mind it. I literally shoot a shocker, but if you're comparing it, like if you're giving me both of these for free, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Ergonomics.
This Luxe has been the ergonomics that I've liked the most out of any Luxe.
I would agree. Maybe the TM40.
I like the TM40.
I really like the TM40 trigger. So other than that, though, I like the overall ergonomics of the Idol better. Between the Idol and the
shocker,
Era, 100% the Idol. 100%. It's just the way that the foregrip fits my hand is like perfect. I don't really have to think about it. Just my hand falls right in, and the trigger frame is good. Trigger frame is good.
Foregrip is great. I agree as well. I really like the way this fits. I think we had kind of suspected from the other video of me using one of these things that they like. There's something different about it. It's a little smaller, I think, because it was already big enough, right?
It was.
And they stepped it back just a little bit, and it's really nice. My thing, though, I struggle a little bit ergonomically with the back of this thing. I do a little bit better with the Era. I am probably going to go Era for now until and unless I get to, like, use one of these things for, like, a season. You know, but for right now, out the box, I am going to... Let me feel the shocker again, like side by side, I guess. Oops. Click, clack.
I do like that the Era grips are nice, and they're a little bit. The Era grips are a little bit softer compared to the new grips on the Idol with the new screen and everything. And I like the rubber feel. The metal feel of the Idol is nice, but honestly, like I like having extra grip. So for me, what I like doing with my Luxe guns is I wrap it one time, nice and thin, with tape, and I love that feel. That's probably my favorite feel. I like that more than playing an Eclipse.
Any Luxe of yours that you've used always, like when I had your TM40 back at that event in 2023, I definitely. I'm gonna go shocker for now, but I'm on the road to being convinced when it comes to the Idol because it's nice. The foregrip is really nice, honestly.
Okay. All right, so ergonomics. I'm picking the Idol. Doug is picking the Era.
We're going un for un. And this does, I'll confirm, this does have a battery in it. So for weight.
Now we're going to talk about weight. And we're going to zero the, oops. All right, guys. So we are tiered at 0. Luxe Idol. Or go ahead, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, you got the knob on. Take it out.
Oh, you taking yours off?
Yep, I'm taking mine off. So we can get a true weight. True weight of the Luxe Idol, 1 pound, 14.5 ounces. And then the Shocker Era is going to come in at 1 pound, 14.1 ounces. So close.
That's pretty close.
It's real close.
Wow. It's funny because people are saying, oh, the Luxe is huge compared to the Shocker. The Shocker's been getting bigger. At this point, they're pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say it's probably about as light as the Amp was, but
you think so?
Probably a little bit. It might be a little bit heavier, but regardless, the Shocker Era wins when it comes to weight. Next up, maintenance between the two.
Ooh.
100% this.
You think it's easier?
Well, one, I don't really like the twist mechanism.
For this?
I don't. It's kind of hard to grab.
Mine does get stuck.
Whereas like this, I like being able to push and then pull.
Just rip it out.
And then push it back in and it just pops into place, and it's very simple. The other thing, major thing, is the regulator on the Idol is simpler to maintenance, and the Pro Lock system is also easier to pop that off to do a thorough cleaning, and you've got toolless eye covers. It's hard to debate. You're going to spend way more time trying to maintenance that than you are with the Idol.
That's fair.
So for me, I'm 100% picking the Idol when it comes to maintenance.
I'll submit to that. That's fine, because this bolt has been a bitch to get out on mine. Like you had to actually like show me, like just put some lube in the little the part of it.
Yep.
And I just tried to take it out last night just to see how well that held up, and I can't get it out now. So I gotta ram it out again with like a squeegee or something.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
I'll agree to that. Build quality or reliability? Well, they come from the same factory, so this is an interesting conversation.
I'm gonna say it's a wash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a wash. If I'm gonna give it an upper hand to either, I'm gonna give the upper hand to the Luxe. I've had a few of these come through with an issue here and there.
Like out of the box, or
out of the box. Shocker was quick to resolve the issue. No big deal. I can't say I've sold a lot of brand new Luxes where I've had anybody have an issue right off the bat with it.
So I'll out this. I was telling Joel this off camera earlier. That same Luxe that I got in the other day for one of my guys, as I was looking it over, it came out of the box, not charging, and trigger was essentially set to being constantly depressed, so the gun would only turn on in maintenance mode. So that's my experience is it's a wash. They're both doing weird stuff. So, but also I called them and immediately it got resolved. I have a new board on the way, so like it's all good. And the customer service, 10 out of 10. But out of the box, it's a wash. Weird stuff.
Fair enough. Tech support?
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Honestly, 10 out of 10. I've not had any problems. Now, I'm in the unique position of being very close friends and only living 20 minutes away from one of their master technicians. So that does put me in kind of a weird spot. But I did not call him when I had this issue. I called the factory themselves. Only took about a minute to get online with somebody, and then boom, I had a part in the mail. So
I think to your point, I think that that's good. Tech support between the two, right? We're talking, this is a comparison video, so between the two of them, it's going to be the same.
It's the same company.
It's going to be the same because it's the same company. But with that said, overall tech support wise, I think that it's been very good on our end. They dissolve any issues very quickly. If we have an issue, they get on it and it's no longer an issue.
If I show up to an NXL event with a marker that needs something done to it, I usually have it back in hand same day.
There you go.
Or even like when we see you guys at events, Cody is in the back the whole time, teching stuff, cleaning stuff up, doing whatever he can for you guys. Honestly, buy him a drink next time you see him at an event. But we get so much volume sometimes we do have to take a few over to the Shocker and Luxe tent to get some help. And guess what? They are super quick with getting us everything we need. So
yep, 100%. Good tech support, for sure.
Very much so.
All right, last but not least, sorry this is taking a long time, guys. We're talking about upgradability between the two. Mech frame for both.
I was just going to say, there's a mech frame for that one, I know, and this one is obviously.
And no, it does.
No, obviously
okay, yeah. Other than that, I mean, the Luxe Idol has a few triggers. I think the Shocker might have a few triggers.
You can get some bolts for the Luxes too, can't you?
You can.
Some soft tip bolts?
You can, and I'm pretty sure they're cross-compatible, I want to say.
They used to be.
They used to be. The Luxe and the Luxe TM40 and the Amp were cross-compatible. I'm not sure on these bolts.
They are.
They are?
Yeah.
Okay. So regardless, I'm going to say it's wash. Wash. Okay.
That's a wash.
All right. So with that said, guys, a little long-winded there, but hopefully we answered any questions that we could have for you guys. We are going to go outside real quick. It's super cold, but we're going to do it for you guys and talk about shot quality, paint handling, and efficiency, and then we will see you guys back in here to talk about overall value and which one we're picking for the money that you're going to be spending. All right, we're outside.
What's up, guys? We're out here. Gonna use my Shocker. Anytime I can avoid using like a brand new gun in a video would be ideal, so we'll just use Old Reliable here. Shooting some Valken paint, Valken Pro. It's kind of old. I did just chrono. We're at about 285-ish. I'll check it for you anyway. 81, 80, 91, so.
All right.
Works enough for me. Let's get some rippage. Okay, love it. Super consistent. Feels great to shoot. Very, not the poppiest, but pretty poppy shot. This is your Luxe Idol. Same one from the video. Also just chronoed this thing, about 280s as well.
And this one is brand new.
This is brand new, so we're gonna be careful. 93, 77, 77, 89. So about the same amount of jumpage, I'll take it. Luxe Idol, here we go. Yeah, man, it's close, it's close. You can tell they come from the same factory, but there's a difference. Like when I shoot this thing, I feel it go a little bit more kind of back into my shoulder. The Shocker shot quality is a little more of like a jump or like a kick, if you will, but not like a mule. I don't know, it's a different kind of response, probably because of different ergonomics and all that, but shot quality, I'm probably going the Shocker. I'll let Joel take it in a second here. And then what's our other one, Joel? Shot quality and
efficiency and paint handling.
Efficiency, paint. I mean, they both can shoot the paint. It's cold as hell outside. They're doing just fine. Efficiency, I believe it would go to the Luxe, right?
Yeah, we're gonna check those numbers.
Yeah, we'll pull those from the other videos. I'm gonna trade out with Daddy Joel though, so give us just a second here.
Okay, guys, I've got the Luxe Idol, and we're gonna give it a little rip here.
Sorry, I shot it dry.
No, you're good. Definitely audibly seems to be louder.
Yes,
than
for sure.
Era. But keep in mind, the Era also got a 1-inch longer barrel.
Right.
Which is going to help with your sound signature.
Having different porting and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Shot quality between the two, I'm definitely going to pick the Shocker Era. Definitely a smoother gun and definitely quieter between the two.
Yep.
The Idol's got a little bit of a poppier, snappier shot. I'd be curious to see how the Idol sounds with a 15-inch barrel on it.
Yeah.
So definitely something to consider, maybe for another video, but since we're comparing stock to stock, we want to keep it as even as possible.
Right.
And like Doug said, paint handling, both guns have been...
They're both going to be tanks on that
great.
one. Yeah.
And then efficiency-wise, we'll get you the final numbers here. So we're going to go back inside because it's freezing.
It's cold.
And talk about value. Alrighty, so it was super cold out there, but I hope that you guys got a good idea of how this Idol shoots and how the Era shoots. Both very good shooting markers. Idol's definitely a bit different than the TM40.
A little bit.
And so with that said, we kind of touched on paint handling and efficiency. Once again, efficiency, I think that the Idol gets a little bit upper hand compared to the Era. The Era efficiency, when we did the efficiency test on it, was less than the AMP. The AMP was like wicked efficient.
Crazy.
Wicked efficient. So with that said, we're going to give the efficiency upper hand to the Idol, and then paint handling, once again, I'm going to give it to the Idol. Both of these guns are really good.
I kind of think it's a wash. I don't really see either of them break paint, but...
Yeah, could be a wash.
Yeah.
So with that said, let's talk about value, Doug, because that's ultimately what this boils down to. I think that we can agree that the shot quality on the Era is amazing.
Yeah.
The question is the shot quality and the lack of features and the difference in price willing to justify the difference on spending the money on the Idol?
Because let's be real, it's twice the 800 versus, is that 1650 or 1600?
1600.
Literally twice the cost. You could buy two of these for the cost of one of those. I like them both. I like both of these a lot. This is one of those, if money didn't matter, I would absolutely go for the Luxe. Truly, I really would. But like, for the price of, if I had $1,600 cash sitting in front of me right now, I could buy a gun and go play an NXL event. Like, not just a local event, I could go play a national event.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we really getting, right? You get a prettier board.
Oh man, you're getting a lot of stuff. You're getting packaging.
Let me roll. You get a prettier board.
All right.
You get a prettier board that literally functions the same way. Doesn't have any different settings than this thing does. Still functions with pulling a trigger. You get a nicer set of packaging, which is sick. You can hold more barrels, which is sick. You get the toolless features. The gun is, you can take it apart completely toollessly. You don't need a single screw, except for when you start getting to like servicing your reg and stuff like that. That'll be different. But I don't know, man. For me, as Media Guy Doug, as a player, for how little I go through my stuff, for how little I have to do maintenance in general on 4 years now of using shockers, 5 years of using shockers, for twice the cost, I can't give the value to the Luxe. It's super sick, but for the fact that I like the ergonomics better and we like the shot quality of that better, I can't justify doubling my cost.
I'm gonna disagree. I think that for an extra $800, all the features of the Idol are premium, and it's a little bit different, right? Like when you're talking about Planet Eclipse, for example, Planet Eclipse, between the LV2, the CS3, and the R5, there is a lot of cross compatibility between the two. And then you look at the 180R and the CS3, and you're like, man, there is not a lot of difference here. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to justify. The 180R has very similar features to the CS3.
Yep.
Now, with this, there's lots of differences. Toolless eye covers, toolless bolt on this. I like the removal system much better. The trigger, plus or minus, but I think that a lot of people outside of us like the Idol trigger better.
Sure.
The board, that's a main feature of it. The wireless charging is nice. You don't have to spend money on batteries. If that was a toolless AA, I'd give it to that.
Yeah.
But this rechargeable battery, I like that. And they refined the battery system to be more reliable.
It's got a nice lock-in system now as well. Like it's
ASA is better, bolts better, feed neck's better, legs better. I mean, packaging is better.
The efficiency is a big argument as well. I will totally validate. That is a huge argument. Now, how much difference? We'd have to do it probably side by side.
Yeah,
and that's expensive. So if someone wants to sponsor that video, then
we'll just post our official numbers here, what we got with the Idol and the Era.
Sure,
but it was better. So with that said, every aspect of the Idol is improved compared to the Era. For me, I look at that and go, is it worth spending actually $800? Yes. When I look at a 180R that's $900 and I look at a CS3 that's $1,600 and I'm spending $700 more, is there enough value there? No, I'm picking the 180R. For this, I look at this and go, pretty much every aspect of this gun's better, right? So with that said, maybe besides shot quality, right? So with that said, I'm picking the Idol. So
once again, we have agreed to disagree.
Yeah, we're gonna go find it out,
guys. I promise. I try to not just pick this, but like, I don't know, man. It's pretty great. You should get it in your hands and shoot it for yourself. What you should do is go to your local field, see if anybody has either one of these, and try to spin it for a couple points. That's really the best way to really know. But we will give you as much technical info and as much objective info as we can, even though it is injected with some opinions. But we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video and hang out with us on the channel. We really do. If you have any other suggestions of marker comparisons that you'd like to see us do, please let us know in the comments. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you just found us today. Check the link in the description to pick up either one of these bad boys from Punishers, and we will see you in the next comparison video.